Hello, I'm back with some more Elite Speak as we review AEW Dynamite from February 24th, 2021. I'm about almost a week late with this, but it's better late than never. And a lot of stuff was going on last week, so I had to put this off. But we're going to do it right now because completionist. We're going to get this going. We kicked off the night with a match between Jon Moxley and Ryan Nemeth. Mox brutalizes Nemeth to kick off the night. Nemeth attempts to stop Mox with knee shots, but it was to no avail. Mox ends it with the paradigm shift for the win. And post-match, Mox grabs a chair and a mic. He sits down in the ring and he says from the moment he woke up, he would do whatever it takes to get back to the top. What images come to mind when you hear the word exploding barbed wire death match? He then says he's addicted to the blood, sweat, and tears. It's the feeling he can't get enough of. Omega isn't the first to try to take him out, and he won't be the last. Win, lose, or draw, everyone will know that Mox gave everything that he had. And this was another great promo from Moxley. Per usual, he captivates when he speaks. And this is the power of having free-form promos. Bullet points, you get to say what you need to get the point across, and Moxley sure knows how to do that. Next match, we had the Varsity Blondes versus Team Taz. Ricky Starks and Brian Cage. Pillman and Starks kick it off. Pillman shows some nice agility, nice athleticism. Eventually, Griff Garrison gets the hot tag and he runs wild on Team Taz. The Varsity Blondes then get a near fall via a top rope double team move. But in the end, Brian Cage then drill claws Brian Pillman Jr. for the win. Post-match, this is where things get real interesting. The match itself was good. Post-match, the arena goes dark. A video plays, and Sting lets out Darby from a body bag. This was after Sting was driving this bag across the desert for a bit, and it opened it up and it revealed it was Darby. So, back from that vignette, it snows in the arena, and both Sting and Darby come out with a body bag. And turns out it wasn't Darby inside this body bag, but it was Hook. Darby arrives via the rafters, and both take it to Team Taz. Sting then shows out in the ring. He Scorpion death drops Cage, as well as Stinger splashes him. And this sends a message to the rest of Team Taz that Darby and Sting are nothing to mess around with. And now this feud is finally starting to heat up. After months, weeks of them doing nothing but staring each other down, interrupting each other, finally we're getting physical. And this showed that Sting can take some bumps. And I don't think we're going to be getting a cinematic match at Revolution this Sunday. So this should be good. Should be a good match. Moving on, we had the next matchup, which featured Brandon Cutler versus Jake Hager. We pretty much knew how this one was going to go. Not long after it starts, Hager wheelbarrows Cutler into two back suplexes. Later, Cutler hits a tope and a con hero on Hager. In the ring, Hager slams Cutler down and signals for a running clothesline. Hager eventually wins. Post-match, the Inner Circle beats down Brandon Cutler. This gets the attention of the Young Bucks as they come out to help their buddy Cutler. And they get some super kicks off on Hager, etc. Then Matt Jackson grabs the microphone and challenges MJF and Jericho right then and there, but they don't come out. Instead, they appear on the big screen, and Jericho reveals that they've bloodied up Papa Buck Then they ram him into a truck twice onto East Jackson's face. And this was a good segment. This drove home that MJF and Jericho are heels. This gets some heat on them for the match, and it makes you feel a bit sympathetic to the Bucks, which I'm not sure if that was going on before this angle, but it surely is the case now because Papa Buck is beloved by the faithful fans. So there you have that. Next matchup was possibly this is one of the better matches of the night, and I didn't really expect much of this going into it. I figured that Hangman Page would just beat Kassidy and Isaiah Kassidy, a private party, in a relatively quick fashion, but no, both of these guys put on a nice match, and I was really impressed with Isaiah Kassidy's work here. This is good stuff. Page, of course, he was going to do well. But Page goes for... this match featured Isaiah Kassidy versus Hangman Page, of course. Page goes for Matt immediately, but Isaiah Kassidy stops it a bit. Then Page stomps a mud hole in Kassidy. Page has been beating down Kassidy most of the match at this point. And it took Hardy and TH2 for Page to lose his momentum. Eventually, Hardy gets ejected due to the Dark Order snitching on him. The Dark Order comes out to further to get the tide back on the good guy's side, which is Page. And of course, they're looking to recruit Page, so why not help him out? This will look good in their recruitment efforts. Eventually, Hangman hits the Dead Eye. We haven't seen that signature move in months, but he hits that for the win on Kassidy. Great match. Good match. Post-match, Matt Hardy tosses 5 off the stage onto a table below to send a message to the Dark Order. He plans to take them out one by one. So this could make for some interesting weeks of TV on Dynamite. So this tells me that the feud will not be over at Revolution. This will continue. And I don't mind that. It's been pretty entertaining, this feud. Next up, we had a semifinal for the women's Eliminator tournament. And it was Britt Baker going up against Nyla Rose. This turned out to be another good match on the show. Rose scoops Britt twice and she rolls out of the ring early on. From the break, Baker suplexes Nyla into the corner. Britt eventually gets Nyla slammed into the exposed turnbuckle, but fails to get the lockjaw on Nyla. Britt then hits a crucifix bomb for a 2 count, but transitions to the lockjaw as Nyla fights out of it yet again. Nyla hits the beast bomb, but Britt kicked out due to not covering quick enough. Nyla didn't go for the cover soon after she hit that beast bomb, which allowed Britt to get more of a breather to kick out because no one kicks out of the beast bomb. Nyla then, not long after that, hits another beast bomb for the win. She advances to the finals, and she will face either Thunder Rosa or Riho, which we found out. We found out who she will be facing, but I'm going to say that for another review for this week's episode. And Britt Baker was protected with this loss because it took 2 beast bombs to take her out. So she'll be fine. She will not suffer much from the loss. Really, as much as I hate to say it, Nyla needed the win, but I wanted Britt to win because the tournament seemed tailor-made for her to go all the way. So apparently that's not the case now. And I hear that she turned that down. She didn't want the title right now. So If that's the case, then good on her. She knows best for her character. But those of us who wanted her to get that gold would be a bit disappointed. And hopefully this doesn't affect any of the other participants in the tournament, because there are some pretty good, there is talent in this that is worthy of that title besides Britt. So hopefully the fans don't sour on whoever wins. And then we have the main event, which featured Rey Fenix versus Lance Archer with Jake Roberts. Much later in the match, Fenix hits a rolling cutter for a 2 count on Archer. Both of these guys have beaten the crap out of one another up to this point. Archer then hits a fisherman buster for a 2 count. Fenix then hits a Spanish fly from the top rope on Archer for a 2 count. Eventually, Lance Archer hits his blackout for the win. This was another good match, a solid main event. Putting this up against the Kassidy match, I don't know. I think either one of these could have been a main event match, so it's fine. I enjoyed all the matches. Lance Archer wins a big match here. He didn't lose, so he is going to 40. Lance is entered into the Face of the Revolution ladder match, which is only fair because Phoenix was in the last ladder match at Double or Nothing last year, so he'll be fine. We also have one half of the Lucha Brothers already in there in Penta, so it'll be all right. So solid episode of Dynamite. I didn't think much of it going in, but it turned out to be good. So what does that tell you, folks? Don't judge a book by its cover. So I would like to thank you all for tuning in, listening, watching, and I will catch you again in a few days with the next review for the Crossroads edition of Dynamite on March 3rd, 2021. It should be a good one. I will also have the results from all of the women's eliminator tournament matches on that episode as well. So stick with it, and I will catch you then. Thanks for listening or watching. Adios.